there's breaking news coming in at this hour. Russia seems to slam the US over seizure of oil tankers. Now, Russia has gone on to say that the US seizure of oil tanker is illegal. Remember that this is Russia's response to the US seizure of the Marinera. Russia has accused the US of violating the UN Convention and has gone on to say that no state has the right to use force. Now, important statement coming in from Russia's Ministry of Transport, who's issued a statement and gone on to say that the vessel was granted temporary permission to sail under the state flag of the Russian Federation. Now, this, as per Russia, was issued in accordance with the Russian legislation and the norms of the international law. Russia has further gone on to add that around 3 o'clock Moscow time in the open sea, beyond the territorial waters of any state, the US naval forces boarded the vessel, and it is after that communication with the ship was subsequently lost. Now, important information that we're tracking at this hour is there seems to be a statement coming in from Russia. Now, Russia has further gone on to say that this, in fact, in accordance with the provisions of the 1982 UN Convention of the Law of the Sea, the high seas are governed by the principle of freedom and navigation, and that no state has the right to use force against any vessels. We're tracking more on this story at this hour amid growing American control over Venezuela's oil. Now, the US military has now seized 2 oil tankers, the Marinera and the Sofia, linked to Venezuela after tracking it across the Atlantic over the past 2 weeks. Now, this was a part of a US blockade on Venezuelan oil exports. Now, in fact, videos have also emerged which have been shared by the US which show the movement of the US Coast Guard, which boarded the oil tanker Sofia in what it calls a meticulously coordinated operation. Well, the US has also sealed Marinera, a Russian-flagged oil tanker that was being shadowed by a Russian submarine, a move that could drastically increase tensions between Washington and Moscow.
US President Donald Trump's pressure campaign on sanctioned oil is showing no signs of slowing down. The head of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, detailed the pre-dawn operations on X. She said the Coast Guard conducted back-to-back meticulously coordinated boarding of 2 Ghost Fleet tanker ships, one in the North Atlantic Sea and one in international waters near the Caribbean. The former, the Bella 1, is believed to have set off from Iran to pick up oil from Venezuela. But after being pursued by the US military, it altered course, changing its name to the Marinera. The US Southern Command accused the vessel of violating US sanctions. The UK confirmed it had assisted the US operation. Britain's Defence Secretary calling the Bella 1 tanker part of a Russian-Iranian axis of sanctions evasion. Moscow, an ally of Caracas, has accused Washington of violating international law. In her first briefing on Venezuela since Nicolas Maduro's capture, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt didn't give clarity on whether the seizure risks flaring tensions between Russia and the United States. Nevertheless, it demonstrates the danger of geopolitical spillover from the US campaign against Venezuela.